Christmas of 1983 made history with its record-breaking cold weather. The blizzard conditions were felt across northeast Ohio and northwest Pennsylvania during the winter. The weather had been very cold and the Great Lakes were so large that they created a lake-effect snowstorm. Snow continued to fall across northern Ohio and northwest Pennsylvania on December 24th and 25th. Winds of up to 50 miles per hour sent 10 to 15-foot drifts piling with the new snow as 6 inches of fresh blanketed the region. The meteorologists on WJT-TV 24 remembered the high winds and incredible snow drifts that developed from the fine snow because of how cold air made the snow lighter. Visibility was near zero for at least 2 hours and all roads were closed. Many residents and travelers had to find shelter or help after the power went out across Ashtabula. The city was called a disaster area, so the National Guard was deployed to help out. Several people suffered frostbite as air temperature reached below 0 degrees. Former WJW-TV8 and WFMJ-TV21 meteorologist Mark Kuntz reflected on this event and stated that the shoreway in Cleveland was quite surreal. All the stores, schools, government buildings, and other businesses were closed and there was no activity on the shoreway during the blizzard. Mark stated the high winds and wind chill values were unreal and that Cleveland became a ghost town because everything was shut down. The Lakeside Yacht Club near Burke Lakefront Airport sustained significant damage with docks ripped up by 12-foot waves. The club has set up a temporary facility at nearby Dacey Tomlinson Park and is working on recovery for the permanent building damage. The shortway was shut down because of poor visibility, snow, and ice. The spray from the waves hitting the shoreway made it extremely slippery. The wind coming from the storm blew the snow over 100 yards to the north side of WJW-TV station. The Cleveland Hopkins International Airport was closed for part of the storm. Stranded travelers had to live in the airport for a while until check-ins resumed. Kirk said Mark displayed the old WSR-74C radar imagery while in the air and the entire scope was filled with green indicating a lot of snow. Kirk remembers even this, that every Christmas Eve service was cancelled because of the latest outbreak of snow. Almost the whole region was cold through December 22nd to 26th, thanks to a string of record cold days in the middle. In some areas, the coldest Christmas ever was experienced. The average temperature remained below zero for 60 hours in those regions. In the next 3 months, the U.S. had its coldest Christmas on record. This was likely due to a combination of events including increased cloudiness and snowfall. This has been referred to as the Great Freeze of '83 by some meteorologists and is considered one of the worst cold weather events in U.S. history. Mogill, Stern, and Hagen 1984. The cold air developed on December 15th and moved from Alaska to Canada and the northern plains on its way south. The Arctic air mass remained in place for several days over the snow-covered Arctic darkness of Alaska before moving southeast, toward the Great Lakes region. This winter has been incredibly cold with the Arctic air mass staying in place for several days, over the frozen Arctic darkness of Alaska before moving southeast towards the Great Lakes region. The Great Freeze of '83, 74% of the North American continent was covered by snow, leading to cold records across 29 states. Sub-zero temperatures have been reported throughout Ohio and western Pennsylvania before the arrival of Arctic air. Temperatures in Butte, Montana dropped below -52 degrees and a new record high barometric pressure was set at Miles City, Montana. This was an indication of how cool the air flowing from the southeast was. On Christmas morning, temperatures in southern Ohio and close to Lake Erie were around -10 to -15 degrees, while in other places they fell as low as -15 degrees. This record-breaking cold weather has exceeded even the Christmas temperatures of 1924. With the current wind chill, it feels like it's -50 degrees outside. Despite this, die-hard shoppers still braved the chilly malls on Christmas Eve night.